I'm probably gonna be grilled for this, but I have to know what you guys think. As a lot of you probably know, I'm a really big fan of the Beatles, although maybe the daily videos for almost a year made that clear already. I can name a list of reasons going from how iconic they were to their influence to variety, but ultimately the main one will always be the quality of their albums. From 1963 to 1970, they released some of the greatest albums ever made. Actually, the only time the quality of an album was put into question was in cases like Magical Mystery Tour or Yellow Submarine, because they weren't even supposed to be albums in the first place. However, there's one more, another album that in my opinion is a clear step down in terms of quality for the band, but unlike the other two, this one was intended as an album. With the Beatles was released in 1963 as the follow-up to Please Please Me. The album was also remade into Meet the Beatles, one of the first albums they released in the US, basically kickstarting Beatlemania. However, the UK version, the canon version of the album, while not necessarily bad, because let's be honest, no album with songs like All My Loving, All I've Gotta Do and It Won't Be Long can be called bad, but I just feel like the rest of the album suffers from a clear performance and identity crisis. While the covers in Please Please Me and Beatles for Sale were picked specifically to fit the sound of the band, the ones in With the Beatles seem to be an exercise to appeal to a certain demographic. Devil in Her Heart to Money, Roll Over Beethoven, for now, let's ignore the fact that some of these performances are terrible. The songs themselves ignore the sound the Beatles crafted in a single day in the previous album. Even some of the original songs are lacking here, because Don't Bother Me was George's first original in G. Hold Me Tight and Little Child can be fun and enjoyable, but honestly they feel so beneath what the Beatles would go on to do in the following albums, and even beneath what they did in the previous album too. And look, this is not me saying that I don't like the album. Once again, I do enjoy my time with it every time I give it a spin. But it's so clear to me that among such an amazing list of albums, With the Beatles is the weakest, or at the very least, the most uninspired one.